Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. My name is Nasali Mariam. I'm always excited to share about much with you. I know whenever I say these things, I'm also telling them to myself. So come let us listen to me. I'm also listening to myself. Yeah, today I'm going to share about something called going back to the drawing board. Going back to the drawing board. So what is going back to the drawing board? It means it means going back to the very place where you started from in all spheres of your life, going back to where you started from, going back to what you had planned, going back to what you had looked at, going back to how you had planned to go about everything that you were doing. That is what it means going back to the drawing board. For business people, it's going back to the very day that you started that business, when the idea came, what you laid down, the expectations, and how you were going to go about them. So that is what I mean by going back to the drawing board. So today I came to challenge you to go back to the drawing board. Many times we have encountered many things and they have been like noise that have made us go away from the main reason and made us lose focus as to the sole purpose as to why we started everything that we are doing. You understand? If you go back to the drawing board, it will help you much. You will first of all be aligned with the vision that you started with. Let me give you an example. Uh, Many times we encounter many defeats, we encounter many challenges along the way. You started doing something, but there is some noise, some background noise that came in. You are walking a straight line, but then the background noise made you divert from the line that you were taking. But this wasn't the line that you were supposed to take, but just because of the background noise, just because of the circumstances, just because of the things that come along the background, you diverted from the main path. Today I'm telling you to go back to the drawing board. We expect a lot from you. Your generation is expecting much from you. Your children are expecting much from you. We are looking towards you, but you are not doing what you're supposed to do because you have refused to sit down and reflect. Today I came to challenge you to go back to the sole reason as to why you started. What is your why? What is your why? Go back to the why. What was your why in the first place? Why did you start that business? Why did you start that family? Why did you start whatever you started? Why did you start that ministry? Why did you start why did you start farming? And now you are here telling us that you want to give up just because a certain problem has come up. Today I've come to challenge you that go back to the drawing board. I have come to challenge you to go back and look at the why. Maybe the why will steer you up and you will be able to come back and do what you're supposed to do. I understand things are hard. I understand when you started, you had a clear path in your mind. You knew that with whatever thing you were going to do, you are going to succeed. You knew that it was going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, up to Z in the same order. But things along the way diverted, things along the way did not come out well. Today I come to challenge you, go back to the drawing board. About those children, there is a reason as to why you started the family. Go back to the drawing board. Why did you want kids? Right now, you're not taking care of them, you're abandoning them, you're not there for them, you're not grooming them, but you wanted them in the first place, and there is a picture you wanted about your kids. There is a picture you wanted about your spiritual life. When you confess salvation, there is that thing that was in your mind. You wanted Jesus to save you, you wanted to go to heaven someday, but along the way, you are falling out of line. Along the way, you are losing out. Along the way, sin has encroached on you. Along the way, you have given into temptation. But go back to the sole reason as to why you started. Why did you start? What is your why? Go back to the drawing board, you understand? So I'm not going to just challenge you and tell you to go back to the drawing board, but I'm going to give you a few steps that you can to the drawing board. One of the steps is you when you go down and sit, you have to reflect and assess. Sit down and reflect. You're like, okay, this is what I started. Let us say I started this business like this. Reflect and be like, so far for the years that I've been in this business, for the months that I've been in this business, what have I achieved? How have I achieved? Have I been intentional? You reflect and assess. Assess. Be like, okay, what are the negative things that have been barring me from shooting a particular target? You understand? Go back to sit and reflect. Reflect and assess. You understand? Another thing that you have to do is to reflect on your objectives. Define them. You know, as we go on, a lot changes. A lot changes. So you have to go back and redefine your objectives. What is that objective that you had on paper? You're like, okay, I have finished school. What was your objective after you had finished school? Was it when I finished school I will go work, or it was when I finished school I will go home and see? What was your objective in the first place? When you went to study and finished, what was your objective? Was it starting up a business? Was it being self-employed, like setting up a business, or was it being employed? Go back to the objective and define it. Maybe right now you cannot be employed under someone, but you can be self-employed. You have to go back and redefine and be like, okay, now initially when I started the drawing board, I said that I was going to follow this and this, I was going to follow ABC, I was going to be employed under someone, but right now I cannot do that. Redefine and be like, how am I going to go about self-employment? How am I going to start being self-employed? You redefine, because the trends change. A lot changes along the way. The business that was there 20 years ago, and the business that is here apparently now, the way it was run back then is not the same way it's being run now. To handle them back then, it's not the same way they're doing it. So go back, redefine. Okay, I started a family 10 years ago, but right now, what do I need? How do I need to go about the family at this age in time? Do I really have to use the same things that they were using now? Do I really have to go over the same order that I was going with the other time? Smartphones have come up, you understand? Smartphones, a lot of internet stuff is going around, but you are not informed about it. Go back and redefine the objectives such that they can align with today, you understand? So when you go back to the drawing board, that is one of the things, one of the steps that can help you. Another thing is you brainstorm. Brainstorm. Actually, this thing, it won't take one day, it can take a while. Brainstorm. Sit down somewhere alone and brainstorm. Think about how it was, how it has been flowing, what you need to do. Sometimes you have to create boundaries. Sometimes you have to open up certain doors for friends. Sometimes you have to reserve yourself. So going back to the drawing board, brainstorm and see. Brainstorm, you think about it. Think about what you had planned to do in the first place. Brainstorm about it, you understand? Then another thing you have to do is you refine. Refining is almost the same as redefining. Refine, you revive something, you revive the dream, you revive the vision such that it can fall in this age. Another thing is to execute. After sitting down and going back to the drawing board, think about executing. How are you going to bring into action whatever you have talked about? We are looking up towards you. Your generation is counting on you to do whatever you say that you will do. Your generation is looking at you, looking at the mistakes that you're making and seeing how you rise up. So just go back to the drawing board. Just do what you said you were going to do. When did you start having cheap talk? You woman, you man, when did you start having cheap talk? Yet you, yet you are this person bearing a big dream, a big vision, but you're trading it for cheap talk. You're trading it for just naive things, naive things, naive mistakes or so. We are expecting much from you. Go back to the drawing board. You can do better actually if you go back and reflect, because we know you are capable. You are more than capable. Oh, sit in the quiet place and think it through. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe and like, also share. I love you so much. Ciao.